Any discussion of Changjongzi would be incomplete without some comparison to Wufan, the banks of the Ru, which also invokes the awe and respect most young lovers showed their parents.
The banks of the Ru. Walking along the banks of the Ru, cutting the slender stems, not yet seeing my lord, my desire is like morning hunger. Walking along the banks of the Ru, cutting the slender sprouts, having seen my lord, he did not desert me after all. The bream has a reddened tail, the royal chamber as if ablaze. But even though it is as if ablaze, father and mother are very near.
Wufan has traditionally been read with the final couplet developing from the xing of the reddened bream in line 9. Wang Shi, which is here translated as royal chamber, is normally understood pars pro toto as referring to the royal court, which is as if ablaze in some sort of crisis. The final two lines are then read as the wife urging her husband, who is serving at court, to return home because of his parents, which would mean he would also return to her. There's another line of commentary which reads the poem in just the opposite way, of urging her husband to serve an oppressive court so that his parents could be well cared for. But as an air, the poem might easily be read as a love poem sung by a wife whose husband has been away serving the state but has now returned. This would fit with the gathering plant imagery of lines 1 to 2, walking along the banks of the Ru, cutting the slender stems. Images which are often associated with male-female relations. The image of the bream with the reddened tail in line 9, however, is problematic in either reading. The modern scholar and poet Wang Yiduo has argued that fish are symbols of lovers in the Shijing. Here the lover would be ardent after such a long absence from his wife. Hunger, in line 4, as we talked about before, is often equated with sexual desire in these poems. Although there have been erotic readings of this poem by modern Western scholars, Wang Yiduo's interpretation of Wang Shi, the royal chamber, as referring metonymically to a member of the royal court seems the most reasonable. Lines 10 to 12 would then read, the royal courtier as if ablaze, even though he is as if ablaze, father and mother are very near. In support of one's overall reading of the poem, the following roughly contemporaneous Egyptian love poem from the 13th or 14th century before the current era might be cited. It reads, love, how I'd love to slip down to the pond, bathe with you close by on the bank. Just for you, I'd wear my new Memphis swimsuit, made of sheer linen, fit for a queen. Come and see how it looks in the water. Couldn't I coax you to wade in with me? Let the cool creep slowly around us. Then I'd dive deep down and come up with you dripping. Let you fill your eyes with the little red fish that I'd catch. And I'd say, standing there tall in the shallows, look at my fish, love, how it lies in my hand, how my fingers caress it, slip down its sides. By then I'd say softer, eyes bright with your seeing, a gift, love, no words. Come closer and look, it's all me. Males are not always portrayed as aggressive as they are in Changjongzi, or as long absent courtiers as in Wufan. Sometimes they can only stand and wait for their partners, as does the young man who is the persona in Jingyu, the retiring girl. That poem, number 42, reads,
The retiring girl. The retiring girl, lovely, was to wait for me at this corner of the wall. But she hides and will not show herself as I scratch my head, pace up and down. The retiring girl, fine, gave me a vermilion stalk. The vermilion stalk is so red, I delight, am cheered by the girl's beauty. From the pastures she brought me a reed sprout, truly beautiful and remarkable. It is not that you, sprout, are beautiful. A beautiful girl made you my gift.
The Retiring Girl is a poem that shows us only a few minutes of a relationship in real time, but suggests much more. The first stanza provides an exposition of sorts. We hear of the two characters, their relationship, at least to some degree, their location, and then we're allowed to wait with the young man for the girl to show herself. With him, we look towards the corner of the wall where he seems to know she is. He seems certain she's hiding there. She is resident to meet him even in this out-of-the-way place, the corner of a city wall. Of course, she's depicted as retiring or a quiet girl, but the third stanza suggests they may already be lovers, and her hiding here may simply be playful. The final line of this first stanza, I scratch my head, pace up and down, slows the action. 3 of the first 4 lines rhyme, so there's a rhyme scheme of A, X, A, enhancing this stasis, and serves as a background for the persona's musing that follow in the second and third stanza. Without the quiet girl present in these later stanzas, the man's thoughts wander back to the last time he has seen her. He examines a bright red stalk that the girl has given him at that time. The vivid color of this natural object in his hand symbolizes the girl's loveliness and begins to bring her alive for the reader as well. The changed rhyme scheme here, BBCC, underlines the parallel between gift and girl. In the third stanza, the persona flashes back to another gift, a reed sprout that his love brought him from the pasture, perhaps the site of a previous tryst. At this point, the reader is well prepared for a second comparison of love token to lover. This time, the mundane nature of this small reed sprout, not even beautifully colored, makes it clear that the repeated use of the adjective beautiful, may, in the final 5 lines, where it's used 4 times, implicitly refers to the girl. Twice may is the stressed rhyme word in these final lines, linking the persona's reveries in the resultant CC, CD, CD rhyme pattern. In the final couplet, the young man's impatient for his beloved leads him to address the reed sprout directly. This rhetorical device, known as apostrophe, is yet another thread between the 3 beautiful objects that weave the stanzas together: girl, stalk, and sprout. Read in this fashion, the poem begins as an exposition in the first stanza, or a fu, but comes to end unresolved in a series of comparisons, B. The circularity of the young man's thought, as well as the metaphoric binding of gifts and girl, is highlighted by another rhetorical device, the linking of lines 5 and 6 through the repetition of vermilion stalk and the doubled beautiful that links line 11 to line 12, a device known in Chinese as lianzhu, linking pearls, and in English as anadiplosis.
Let us thank Professor NIENHAUSER for such a stimulating talk. I hope you enjoyed the talk. Let's relax and listen to a reading of the poems in Mandarin.
诗经背风静女，静女其姝，似我于成鱼，爱而不见，搔首踟蹰。静女其鸾，以我同管，同管有尾，乐亦如美。字目归题，寻美且异，非汝之为美，美人之宜。
诗经 周南，汝坟。尊彼汝坟，伐其条眉。未见君子，逆如朝鸡。尊彼汝坟，伐其条翼。既见君子，不我遐弃。防于称伪，王室如悔。虽则如悔，父母恐耳。